Every kitchen has one machine that nobody is allowed to look inside. You know the one. When company comes, you wipe the counters and you shine the sink, and the microwave sits there with its door shut, keeping your secret. Because inside, on the ceiling of it, there is a splatter that has been there so long you have stopped seeing it. Spaghetti sauce, maybe, a soup that jumped, something orange that nobody in the family will confess to. It went on soft, and the heat of every meal since has baked it harder. And one day you went at it with your thumbnail and it laughed at you and you closed the door, and that was 2 years ago. Mija, sit down, because that splatter has a secret. And the machine holding it has a bigger one, the one I promised you 2 videos ago. Of every machine in your house, this is the only one that can clean itself. While you stand there with your arms folded, doing absolutely nothing. Today, I show you how for the price of a lemon. My name is Berta, and the old ways of keeping a house are what I share here. It is the plain knowing that used to pass from a mother to a daughter, and it has quietly gotten lost. Quick, while I have you, my mother made me promise to write it all down before it was lost. So I did every measure and method all in one place. Berta's cleaning book. BertaCleans.com, links below. Back to it. First, understand why your arm has been losing. That splatter was coated on. Bake it hard by heat, the same as the burn rings on your cooktop, the same as the oven door. And you have been trying to remove a cooked on thing with a cold rag and mussel. A thing that heat and steam must take off. The oven cannot make steam and clean itself, whatever that button says. The refrigerator cannot, but this little box makes steam for a living. Here is the whole method, and half of it is waiting. Take a bowl, and here the one rule about the bowl. It must be glass or ceramic, something made to go in a microwave. No metal, never metal, and not the thin plastic that warps. Into the bowl, 1 cup of water and 1 cup of white vinegar. It is page 28 in the book, 1 and 1, the steaming mix right beside the spray mix you already know. Now the lemon and the little secret that comes with it. Before you cut it, put it on the counter under your palm and roll it, press and roll, a few good turns. Inside a lemon, the juice is locked up in 1,000 tiny cells, and rolling it bursts them. So a rolled lemon gives you nearly twice the juice of a lazy one. My mother did it without thinking, the way you cross yourself passing a church. Cut it in half, squeeze both halves into the bowl, and drop the halves into peels and all, because the oil in the peel is a degrazer all by itself. And if there is no lemon in the house today, the vinegar and water alone will do the work. The lemon is the perfume and a little extra muscle, not the engine. Set the bowl in the middle of the microwave and run it for 5 full minutes. You will see the window fog like a little bathhouse, and that is exactly what you want. The steam rises, it finds every splatter on the ceiling and the walls, and it soaks into that baked crust the way rain soaks a dry garden, softening it from the inside. And now the step that separates this from every version you have seen on the internet, and it will cost you nothing. When the beep sounds, do not open the door. Leave it shut for another 3. 4 minutes. The steam is still in there, still working. And the moment you open that door, you let your worker walk off the job early. You know this law by now. It is the same law as every soak and every duel I have ever taught you, the law written across more pages of the book than any other. The helper needs its time. Go wipe a counter. Come back. 10 oven mitts, because that bowl is genuinely hot, and lift it out carefully. And now watch what happens. Take a damp microfiber cloth and wipe the ceiling first. Always the ceiling first, top down, same as everywhere, so nothing falls onto a finished surface. And the splatter that laughed at your thumbnail for 2 years slides off like it was never baked at all. The walls, the door, the floor of it. For a truly stubborn old spot, 1 drop of this soap on the cloth, and if it still argues, do not fight it, close the door, and run the steam 5 minutes more. A splatter that has sat for years sometimes wants 2 baths. That is not failure, that is layers. And you know that word by now too. The turntable, the glass plate comes out and goes to the sink like any dish, warm soapy water. And here's a piece even the careful women miss. Under the plate, there is a little plastic ring with wheels, the roller. Lift it out and look at it, because it has been skating through every drip and crumb since the day the machine was plugged in, and nobody has ever washed it. Wash it, and while everything is out, the crumbs and the seam around the floor and the back edge. Take a butter knife, wrap your damp cloth over the blade, and run that thin edge along the seams. The knife gives the cloth a corner, and the corner gets what fingers cannot. That trick has its own little drawing in the book on the same page as the sock and the screwdriver in the chapter my mother called the tools that were never tools. Then the finish, you know from every video, the 2 towel way, 1 damp cloth over everything to rinse away the vinegar and any soap, and 1 dry cloth to buff it streak-free, top down. And do not walk away without the outside, Mija, especially the keypad, because those buttons get pressed by fingers that were just inside a bag of chips, just breaking eggs, just buttering toast. And the keypad quietly becomes the grassiest square inch in the kitchen. Damp cloth, dry buff, done. Now the honest words, because I will not oversell you. First, never run this machine empty. Not for cleaning, not for anything, because a microwave with nothing inside to receive its energy can hurt itself. The bowl of water is not just the trick, it is also the protection. Second, do not bring the strong oven sprays or the bleach anywhere near the inside of this machine. It is a food chamber, the same rule as the oven. No poison where the family's food cooks. And with the steam trick, you will never be tempted because the steam already wins. And third, if your microwave sits above the stove, the vents underneath it and the grease filter under there are their own afternoon, and I will not pretend that wipe handles them. That is a job for another day, and I will get you there. And the quiet word about who profits from your not knowing all this, they took your grandmother's trick, Mija. I want you to hear this one clearly, because it is the whole cleaning industry in one little story. There is a gadget, they sell $10, $12, a little plastic doll they make in the shape of a scolding mother. You fill her with vinegar and water and stand her in the microwave and run it, and the steam comes out of her head and the splatter wipes away, and everyone calls it genius. Mija, it is a bowl. It is the exact trick I just taught you, the one the old women did with a bowl of water and a splash of vinegar since the first microwave came into the first kitchen, except they molded plastic around it, gave it a face, and sold 1 million of them. They even made the doll a mother. They took the mother's knowing, took the mother's face, and sold them back to her daughters at the checkout. Nothing in that gadget cleans 1 bit better than the bowl you already own. When you know the plain method, Mija, you can walk past a whole aisle of clever little products and smile because you can see the bowl hiding inside every one of them. So here are the habits that keep it clean, and the first one ends the problem forever. Cover your food. It is the first line of the microwave page in the book, written before any method, because the best cleaning is the mess that never happens. A paper towel laid over the plate or one of the little vented covers, and the splatter simply never happens. Every minute you ever spent cleaning a microwave is a minute that a paper towel would have saved. Wipe the fresh splatter the day it is born while it is still soft, the 2-minute law, you know it now. And once a month or so, on the monthly line of the 7-day page, run the steam bath, 5 minutes, and a wipe, so nothing ever gets old enough in there to laugh at you again. So here is what I would ask of you. Go open that door right now and look at the ceiling of your microwave, the thing you have trained your eyes not to see. Then throw the bowl, the 5 minutes, the closed door wait, and wipe it clean. And come back and tell me in the comments what the splatter was and how long it lived there, because every microwave in America is hiding a different crime, and I want to hear yours. No shame in it. Mine was mole sauce, and it stayed longer than I will admit in public. And tell me your county. I read everyone. Next time, the kitchen sink. And I will say the sentence now so it can bother you. All week the way it bothered me when my mother first said it to me. The thing you wash everything in is the dirtiest thing in your kitchen. She proved it to me with the stainless sink in 20 minutes. And next time I will prove it to you, and then I will show you how the old women made a scratched gray. 40-year-old thing shine like the day it was set in the counter. But today you start with the machine that keeps your secret. You roll the lemon and squeeze it into the bowl. 1 cup of water, 1 cup of vinegar. You run it 5 minutes and you leave the door shut while the steam finishes the job without you. You wipe the ceiling first and watch 2 years of shame slide onto a cloth. You wash the plate and the little forgotten ring, and you run the wrap knife along the seams. And you lay a paper towel over the next plate of food, so this is the last time you ever do any of it. The women who kept their homes with their own 2 hands knew that heat undoes what heat has done. And they let the steam do the scrubbing 100 years before anyone sold them a gadget for it. And that is a thing we are only just starting to remember.